Let's go on a journey. Let's go back to the day of your graduation. Think of the excitement in the air, the energy that was buzzing, the jittery individuals that sat around you as well as yourself as you prepared to take your first step into adulthood and out of your parents' comforting arms. Do you remember all the work that went into getting that diploma? Do you remember the classes you took, the enormous amounts of time? Do you remember English class or math class or science class? Do you remember all those classes that were required in order for you to receive that piece of paper that says, hey, you're an adult now? But what about the requirement for community service? Most would answer with no, they never had a requirement for community service. One of the growing trends in the last few decades in the United States has been whether or not we should require community service or service learning as a requirement to graduate. And to look at this, there are three main points we're going to want to look at today. The first is the difference between community service and service learning. The second point we want to look at is the benefits of service learning that it has on not only high school students, but also individuals in general. The third thing we want to look at is the drawbacks to requiring community service for high school students in order to graduate. And the main question out of this is, should high school students be required to complete service learning hours in order to graduate? And the answer is a definite yes. The main purpose of my speech is not only to inform you about community service or service learning, but also to persuade you that this is something that should and needs to happen in our communities in order to keep them thriving. I relate requiring certain classes in school to a child and eating his vegetables. So when you have a child, you try giving him different foods, different vegetables, different things, just to have him try out different things and see what he likes. I think it's the same way with high school classes in general. You require a bunch of classes for a high school student. They go through the classes in the hopes that they find something that they truly enjoy. The same thing can be found in community service. Community service will allow students to open up their horizons and try things they've been interested in, and also actively participate in their community. So the first point we want to look at is the difference between community service and service learning. Sarah Helms, a professor at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, stated in her article, Involuntary Volunteering, the Impact of Mandated Service in Public Schools, that community service is volunteerism that occurs in the community. It's action taken to meet the needs of others and better the community as a whole. Whereas service learning combines service objectives with learning objectives with the intent that the activity changes both the recipient and the provider of the service. This is accomplished by combining service tasks with structured opportunities that link the tasks to self-reflection, self-discovery, and the acquisition and comprehension of values, skills, and knowledge content. What a great thing that is for service learning to allow students to expand their horizons, to extend their skill sets, their values, and to increase their knowledge. That is such a beneficial thing to have in any situation. And the second point we want to look at is the great benefits that come with community service. So according to Scholarship.com, a few of the great benefits are boosting your resume, having something to throw onto your resume that shows that you're willing to help out and actively be a part of your own community. Another great benefit is networking. Networking allows you to expand your connections and find friends wherever you go and have those connections that can help you in your professional career as well as your personal life. And a third great benefit of service learning is expanding your skill set. This is a great opportunity in your life to go out and try something that you've always been interested in and see if you're good at it. It gives you a great opportunity. The third point we want to look at is the counter-arguments to community service. And so many people argue that high school students are already juggling with schoolwork, with clubs, with sports, and sometimes even part-time jobs. With so many things going on, that doesn't leave very much time for a student to want to go and participate in extra hours for service learning. And while 50 plus hours may be a bit extreme for service learning, perhaps 10 hours, maybe 20 hours, enough hours to get a student out in the real world, volunteering, contributing in his community, taking an active role and an investment in his community, as well as exploring things that they might not have been aware of before. And in the article, Should Volunteering Be Mandatory? It was published by the LA Times. A community service program administrator at Venice High School, based in Los Angeles, stated that, quote, "We view community service as an excellent preparation for the future. Students can explore career options. For example, if someone is interested in becoming a teacher, he or she can do tutoring. If his or her interest in healthcare, working in a hospital could be beneficial." So, in conclusion, while there is still a lot of controversy over requiring community service as a requirement to graduating, I believe that it is absolutely necessary to require it because it expands the skill set. It gives students a reason to have an active investment in their community and to try new things. And it also has the benefit of allowing a student and helping a student to better manage their time and to make a positive impact in the world. And that's something that not only high school students should strive for, but that we should all strive forward, not just as a requirement to graduate, but as a requirement to your community.